Hello and welcome to MTG Profits. This is episode 35, and we are coming at you. I am your host, Devin, and as always, joined by Andy.
Hey, everybody.
And this is a podcast about Magic the Gathering. We talk about basically all things Magic. We spice it up with a little non-Magic here and there, but mostly about Magic and the financial aspects of Magic, as well as some news information. As always, I want to point you to our website. Go ahead and check out mtgprofits.com. And also you can check us out on YouTube as well, if that's your jam, as well as listening to the podcast. We appreciate your listening and your feedback. And I know it's been a big, sort of a big news, well, I don't know if it's been a big news week, but more interesting news.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of things happening lately. I mean, we've got, I always just want to talk about Avengers Endgame and Game of Thrones, but I guess we'll just talk about Magic, huh?
Yeah. I guess.
If you haven't seen either of those, go see them. They're worth.
Yeah, I would say they're both good. I will say if you're going to go see the Endgame, make sure you go to the bathroom first. It's very long. It was a big sit.
It was a big sit. I definitely was feeling it by the end.
You know, it's funny. I knew that it was like it was like 3 hours or whatever. I specifically planned to go to a movie that has the fully mechanical reclining seats. I don't know if you're aware.
Nice. Of yeah, I've experienced that once. It was very nice.
Yeah, they fully recline 180 degrees. They basically turn into a bed. You know, they go way flat. So, because 3 hours is a long time to sit in. Well, I should say 3.5 hours because of the freaking preview.
Oh yeah, all the previews and that. Good grief.
So, and the previews were singularly unimpressive, I thought. But
yeah, they were terrible.
Yeah, I thought the movie was really good. But I guess on to Magic. Really.
All right, fine.
You had sent me an interesting article earlier in the week about the cheaters caught red-handed.
Yes, you know we've kind of had some articles and discussion about this in the past about the cheaters and kind of some of those evil nerds who have
turned to the dark side.
Turned to the dark side of Magic and yeah, I guess whenever you have a game, any sort of game, and especially one there's money involved too, that there's going to be cheaters.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. This one in particular, I thought was funny. I don't know if you read like the details or some of the follow-up details on any other news sources, but did you want to give the summary of what happened to old Yuya?
Sure. Yeah. So the story here is that Japan's Yuya Watanabe, twice Player of the Year, member of Magic's Hall of Fame, he got kicked out of the Mythic Championship 2 in London after some of the judges found markings on the back of his cards.
It's funny. Have you seen what the markings look like?
I have. I actually been looking at the markings, and
so funny.
If you look really close, I mean, you can see there is a little kind of, I don't know, a little scrape or a little tear in some of the corners of them. But if you look at kind of I guess the full images of all of the cards in his deck, I mean, it's almost imperceptible to see anything there.
You know, it's funny if you zoom in on those. It actually is. It's so super flagrant what he had done. Not only were they marked, but he marked them uniquely. So for example, so I guess to give a little of the backstory. The Watanabe plays Tron he was playing a Tron deck, and for people that are aware, Tron is where you try to assemble the Urza Tron, the three pieces of the Tron lands, the Urza's Power Plant, Urza's Tower, and Urza's Mine, and you want to get one of each. And so what he had done was he had marked them so that the towers, I believe, had a bend in the upper left corner, the power plants had a bend in the upper right corner, and the mines had a little fingernail scuff on the lower right corner, I believe. So they were specifically marked so that he knew which one was coming. Not only that it was a Tron land, but which Tron land it was.
Yeah.
So it was extra amazing. And then as a bonus, he and it's so funny because he even posted these images as to exonerate himself.
Yeah.
And so there was like one of the three, or let's say two. So out of those 12 lands, three sets of four, two were non-marked, as if to show that, look how legit this is, because those two weren't marked. There was no mark.
Yeah, it can't be.
Although of special note, not a single other card in the entire deck or sideboard was marked in the same fashion. So
yeah.
The judges were so sure of it that I believe they used something that there was a 0 chance that it was not intentional. Like, that was the terminology used. And it's important to note that, like, the judges are very really lenient in these calls, and typically the cheating, it doesn't really end in much of a anything other than a slap on the wrist, which I think is actually why it's done so much. But so I thought that was really something. He was like, I'm gonna mark my lands and make it so I can tell which ones are coming, and to
give his side of the story, he says that the sleeves I used, they were starting to get worn out. What was it? Let's see. I needed to do something to change my mental state. And he thought, I thought this was just going to be a normal deck check, and I don't know how they became marked.
It was funny because you're exactly right. I believe the sleeves were changed to the cheaty sleeves after he had lost a bunch of games.
Yeah,
and where he had to win all the remaining games, so he went full cheat, and guess what? Started winning all the remaining games. So
surprise.
Surprise.
Exactly.
So funny. I think it's really unfortunate. The amount of cheating that takes place at high level tournaments is I would consider highly unfortunate. This guy had no reason to cheat. This was the guy who had made it finally.
Yeah.
He was making $75,000 a year. Getting paid by Wizards. In entering the Mythic Edition tournament, or whatever they were calling it, the Mythic Championships, of which there were only, I believe, 64 players. And to top it off, like 32 of them are not even Magic players. They're like Hearthstone streamers. You know what I mean? So this guy had a chance at $1 million prize pool. He's getting paid, serious money for playing Magic, and he's still cheating.
Still cheated.
It's like, can you imagine a circumstance in which this guy would not cheat? He has everything. He has achieved the end goal.
Yeah, he made it to the
you would think, like,
championship.
I've been cheating for a while. I got to take it easy now because now I've made it, and now I just want to stay where I am. But no, he keeps at it. It's like he couldn't help himself. It's crazy. But it seems like that's a common theme with these cheaters. Like, they just can't stop themselves. They can't stop themselves from cheating on camera. It's like what was the more recent one with the not Mike Long, it was Bertuccini, Alex Bertuccini.
Yeah,
where he had lap palm those decks, or the card, where he would just flip a card up, or no, he would pull a card from his graveyard and replay it and shuffle it back into his hand. It was like sleight of hand techniques. Like, these things were done on camera. People were catching him on camera cheating, And that was a guy that had been DQ'd, I want to say, 2 times prior. So this was his 3rd DQ. So it's funny. Really, really amazing. But,
do you think this is like a solo effort that he decided to do the cheating, or do you think his team, also was aware of this?
I have no idea. I think the cheating runs somewhat rampant, and I think it's just something that's done. I think people do. I think they have the mentality that if I can get away with it, I will try to get away with it. Because the penalties have historically been way too low. Way too low. It'd be like,
no penalty, I may as well do it.
It'd be like a 1-game disqualification, So it's like, I might as well cheat until I get caught. Then I'll get a 1-game DQ, but I will have made it so far along
Yep.
that I will have made it like way farther than I could have made it by playing legitimately. So
Sure.
the reward was so far
So better.
ahead of the risk. And
then, it throws in the question too, like his whole history. Then, I mean, like, well, are you actually a good player, or are you just someone who's been really good at cheating in the past?
I'm pretty sure it's got to be the cheat. It's like what they're finding too is the people that have these like historically really strong records like in the arena, they're not doing well. They're not faring well in these non-physical games.
Yeah.
So like with the MTG Online and things, they don't seem to do nearly as well. Like where you see a lot of the same names, in paper, a lot of familiar names. And people win like 80% of their games. Like in a game of variance like Magic, you should not be winning 80% of your games.
No.
Once you reach the highest echelon of play in really any competitive game, you should win 50% of your games. Once you have reached that top tier, or really any tier, as long as you are evenly matched, you basically should be at the point where you're winning half your games. So. Yeah. When you're winning 80% of your games, something's probably not right, and that might need to be looked at.
Yeah, absolutely.
I remember so just to go back a little bit, so he was inducted into the Magic Hall of Fame 2016.
Yeah.
And so it now turns out that 100% of the 2016 inducted class has now been shamed and or removed from because you know who the other one was. Which brings us to another news item.
Who was
the Turtenwald, the Omen.
Oh yeah. Turtenwald.
Yeah. So he was the other class of 2016 Hall of Fame inductees. So those were the only two. So they have been disgraced and cast out.
Jeez.
So it seems like that's a Magic card. Cast out. Cast down.
I think it is cast down. Is it cast down?
Yeah. Can't remember. I believe
that black one is the new one, right?
Yeah. But so that was that. But that's some of the other cheats. So that we had Bertuccini. He had been DQ'd for I want to say a couple of years for his multiple encounters of cheating. Mike Long kept coming back after more cheating, and even had the Mark Rosewater say that he felt that Mike Long needed to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. He felt that there was a need for that. And at one point on his blogatog, he had mentioned that he felt Magic needed a villain, like a real life villain, and he had sort of pegged Mike Long to be that person.
Well,
apparently Mike Long was the known cheater, and
I guess that's good publicity.
But sort of the wrong way to go in a competitive game, I would think.
Yeah.
And are you familiar with the Tamahara Saito style cheat? He was another Japanese player, and he would do something that was sort of like extra special. And it wasn't palming the cards or like hiding the cards in your lap. It wasn't drawing extra cards or fiddling with your graveyard or marking the cards. What he would do in the middle of a game, and what he would do is he would pick up his deck, shuffle it, and hand it to the opponent and say, "Go ahead and cut the deck."
Yeah.
The opponent, in a semi-bewildered state, thinking that maybe he would have just maybe fetch land, like crack to fetch and put it in. Would then pick up the deck and shuffle it. At that moment, Saito would call a judge over and say that his opponent had picked up his deck and started manipulating it.
Oh, jeez.
So
God.
He had gotten away with this. So then basically get the auto win. So he would pick up his own deck for no reason, shuffle the deck, and tell the opponent to cut the deck. When the opponent cut the deck, he'd call the judge over and say the opponent was manipulating his deck.
Wow.
And he got wins like this dozens of times.
That's some serious BS.
Yes. This was not like a once or twice or three time thing. This happened something like 40-odd times.
Wow.
This was amazing.
Jeez.
And apparently, he stopped getting away with it as he started playing in more Western countries. So what had happened was he was playing in more, I guess, like Asian countries, where what would happen was by the time the judge would get called over and you got caught, so say you were Saito and I'm the opponent. You said, "Oh, cut my deck." So I'd reach over, pick up your deck and start cutting it. He calls the judge over. I'm embarrassed at holding the cards, don't understand what I'm doing, why I'm holding the cards, so I would basically just fold up and go away. So just to sort of save face and end the game as quickly as possible. So it started to fail him when he started playing in places like the United States where people don't give an F about.
They're gonna freaking call him on it
about their embarrassment. They don't care to be embarrassed. It was not. So that's when that started to fail as a tactic. But I thought that was an amazing cheat. It's so funny.
It is pretty funny.
Can you imagine? You're like, oh, funny stuff.
Golly, I think this comment sums it up here. This is someone's comment on a message board regarding the guy with the what was his name, Yu or whatever,
Tanabe,
Yuya or whatever, Yuya, regarding his marked cards. He said, "Nah, those are clearly visible and designed to be seen. That's too uniform to be normal. F this guy."
That's so funny. It's funny stuff. So that's, I guess maybe we should come up with a new segment called Cheaty Face in the News.
Cheaty Faces in the News.
that was a card, wasn't it? The Cheaty Face?
Yeah, it was.
One of those uncards or whatever. Funny. It's funny stuff.
Well, there's always going to be cheaters. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cheaters going to cheat, yo.
Apparently. Yeah, so funny. But what other news did we have this week? So we had the cheaty face in the news, and then we had seems like other big news here.
Well, let's see. I mean, there was news last. I think it happened last week or so, but about Hasbro. Hasbro reported their Q1 earnings. To get back into the financial aspect of things.
They blew the doors off.
Yeah. So I think it was basically positive news that had come out of that.
Basically, they were saying they've come out of the doldrums and recovered from the closing of Toys R Us. So they're stopping. Apparently, going to not use that as an excuse for bad performance. And
exactly. Yep. They said that they're doing good in their digital gaming. They're experiencing growth in Arena and other tabletop Magic stuff.
You know what's funny, and I don't know if you noticed this, but what they do is they seem to like to hide where their earnings come from.
Sure.
So what they do is, and this is not typical of any publicly traded business, but what they do is they tend to mask how much money is coming specifically from Magic. And the way they do it, have you seen how they do it? They lump Magic in with Monopoly. So,
I think I saw that,
Yeah, they lump it in with their Monopoly earnings. So they call it like something like their tabletop games segment, which includes Magic the Gathering and Monopoly. So, I can't imagine Monopoly being a big seller.
I wouldn't think so.
So I would imagine that realistically, most of that money is really coming from Magic.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Although, I am surprised that Monopoly is still going, and that they now have all these. I'm sure you've probably seen it.
Star Wars Monopoly.
Exactly, it's all these like different branded Monopolies. Star Wars and I don't know, Lord of the Rings Monopoly and whatever.
Monopoly out the wazoo. Yeah,
it's kind of. I'll give them credit. I mean, that's a smart way, and other people have done this too of keeping this game alive.
Exactly. They have all these Monopoly versions for sports teams and for college campuses. To be like. Penn State Monopoly, UNC Monopoly, Notre Dame Monopoly, so I guess that, for people that are obsessive about their, whether it be their sports team or their college or their whatever, Guardians of the Galaxy Monopoly.
Exactly. Absolutely.
All this sort of funny marketing stuff, but, kind of smart. So it wouldn't surprise me if Monopoly sells more than we think it does, but I would imagine that the bulk of that income segment really comes from Magic.
I think that's fair to say.
But I guess Hasbro's doing well, and they're going to be blowing it up with War of the Spark coming out soon. I think the hype train is it's such high speed. It's
full force.
The high speed rail train, hype train.
Yeah. The bullet train of hype.
It's intense. So I know they had sold today, and the Mythic Edition online on eBay today, and so they went on sale at 3 p.m. today, and I had set myself a reminder, and I had promptly ignored the reminder. So I went back to look online to see if there were still some available, thinking it would be like the Allegiance Mythic Edition,
sure.
you know. It's like, maybe I'll get some in the evening. So I checked at 7 p.m. and the cheapest box for sale at 7 p.m. was already a reseller trying to sell it for $500. So people trying to go for the insta flip, and apparently the sales metrics were off the chain for eBay, and apparently they had said that there were initially going to be 12,000 units. I don't know if you remember this. We talked about it last week.
There was it was going to be a set.
Yep. They were going to ratchet it back from their bungle during Ravnica Allegiance, and turns out they were not true to their word in that regard. What they ended up actually doing was not selling 12,000 units, but selling 29,000.
Whoops!
Oopsie.
Yeah, exactly.
We made a little math error there in our calculations of how many we would sell. It was a little more than a 100% increase in what we originally stated. So, but the funny thing is, the eBay had tried to put through about 50,000 orders. And so 21,000 or some such had to be 21,000, I believe, is the number of orders that had to be canceled. So it was an intense buyout of that War of the Spark Mythic Edition, and for obvious reasons. I think you wanted it, I wanted it. It was like, I would have liked to scarf a box of that, but missed my chance. Quite simply.
Yep. Same here. I guess sometimes just showing up is the way to win, and we didn't.
Exactly. So we'll see. You can't get them all. You know what? I comfort myself in the fact that there will be other products that Wizards is not to take it slow on the product release cycle. So so I didn't get Mythic Edition. Maybe I'll get Modern Horizons. Maybe that'll be a box to, who knows? We'll see how that goes. But it's hard to deny a known alternate art Jace, Papa Jace, and the Ugin, but that's where all that value is. But
oh well, we'll see. Who knows? Maybe they'll do another round of printing for this.
You never know. I could see it happening. You never know.
Yep.
So. But what are you gonna do?
Yep. Just like you said, there'll be something else coming up.
Exactly.
I guess speaking about War of the Spark, I mean, just to look in on the War of the Spark market at the moment. As we said before, this is a time when the prices on the single cards are all kind of in flux. They're
careful.
Up and down.
Tread with caution.
Yes, I think as we had predicted, I know you definitely mentioned this, that the Liliana Dreadhorde General is one of the ones at the top of the chart here, going for about 30, as well as the Nicol Bolas Dragon God, also 30. So those are the two highest cards at the moment.
Yeah.
Number 3 is Gideon Blackblade at about 20.
Okay. Now, is War of the Spark available online yet? I saw something about Play Now, War of the Spark.
It is. Yes, it is available online.
God.
You can do a sealed event of that for I think it's 2,000 gems, or you can do is it a draft? No, a sealed draft of it. There's another type of event you can do.
Okay.
And that one's 1,500 gems.
Oh, so it's a lot of gems.
So there's nothing at the moment you can do to pay in gold to play with War of the Spark cards.
I see. I guess
it's all gem related
at the moment.
The only draft going on now is for Ravnica Allegiance, the regular.
Okay. Gotcha.
So I think that's kind of crummy, but
yeah, I wasn't as excited about the Allegiance really. I will say I haven't really.
Yeah,
I fell out of Arena for a while. I haven't really made any new decks. I've been very remiss in my deck construction lately. I need to get back in the game.
I've still been making decks. I've actually maxed out the number of decks that you can make.
Whoa, there's a maximum.
There's a maximum of 60 decks that you can make.
Whoa, you're like, yeah.
I didn't think there would be. Why should there be a max? I don't know.
I think that's dumb. It's like, I can't imagine why there needs to be a max, but I don't know.
Because, I am sure one of the benefits of Arena is being able to make multiple decks. And I know I like to try sometimes, what if I have a variant on this deck and I just swap out, maybe 5 cards or less? Does it perform much better? So I'll copy the deck and then just switch a couple cards.
Yeah,
try again.
I think you're right. And in real life, could you imagine if you were limited to 60 decks? How many,
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh my God, there's no way.
Yeah, I've definitely maxed out. So you can do Sealed War of the Spark right now for 2,000 gems, which is a lot, or Traditional Draft War of the Spark for 1,500 gems.
That's the best of 3 BS that takes forever, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, that's really
Sealed
rough.
Play best of 3 game matches.
Gosh, I don't care for that online.
That's a long time.
It's a slog through that. In real life, I almost like best of 3 better, but online it just feels too long. I just feel like I want to move on.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I don't care for that.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of feels a little cheesy to me that the only way you can play with these things is by spending gems on it.
Well, I guess that's how they're going to make most of their money, I would imagine. In the first 2 weeks of...
Any of your winnings now, whenever you win a pack, they will be War of the Spark packs.
Okay. Well, I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
So you can still get some packs alternate ways, I guess.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I guess one other thing to mention about the Arena, too, if you have a Twitch Prime account, you can get a free Boros deck for Arena by signing into that.
Okay. I know that
some okay cards in it.
Okay. I probably won't bother, but it's kind of a cool concept. I know you have Amazon Prime, correct?
Yes, I do.
So you also have Twitch Prime for free. So you actually already have that. So
yep, and I did. I went and I claimed my deck.
Did you really?
Yep.
Was it relatively easy to do, or was it kind of a pain in the butt?
Well, the only pain was I didn't remember my Twitch password.
I don't think I know mine either.
I had to get that reset, but once I got that done, it wasn't too bad.
So funny. It's like I never used Twitch. I think that's a generational thing. Like I don't know personally anyone who watches Twitch. Do you know anyone who does? Maybe
no.
C2.
Maybe C2 does.
But, I mean, I don't know anyone who does, but it's apparently very busy. Like, people go nuts for that stuff. So I think that may be a generational thing that we just don't get it.
We don't get it. Yeah, because for our viewers, we are old, but we are also very good looking. So
it balances out.
It does balance out. Yeah, because even like looking at Twitch as I log on, it says all these categories, and they're all game categories like Overwatch, Mortal Kombat, League of Legends, and then it has all these streamers recommended for you.
Yeah.
And like you said, I honestly have no interest in watching any of these guys.
It sort of seems funny. It's like, why would I spend an hour watching someone play a game when I could just play the same damn game?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
I mean, I could play the game they're playing. Why would I watch them play?
I don't get it. I mean, unless I watch something because I either am learning something or I'm seeing new content. But honestly, I don't want to watch this. Like you said, it's the same thing with like sports. I'd rather actually play the sport than watch somebody else play the sport.
Yeah,
I'm not interested in that.
I agree. It's an odd thing. I just don't get it. But like I said, it may be, you know, uh, maybe.
So get your free deck if you want it.
Yeah. Twitch Prime or Twitch whatever.
Yeah.
Cool. I think that might be about all I've got for the week. It was sort of a news blasty week, and
it was very newsy. So I'm trying to think what else. So obviously, War of the Spark comes out this coming weekend.
Get hype! Get hype!
Get hype! Go spend all your money! Hurry! The release will happen. I'm sure it'll be lots of products sold. What else? Oh, the other thing I was going to mention, talking about Arena, there was an article about the first ever Mythic Championship on Arena is coming up in June. So June 21st to 23rd. So you can watch it. I'm sure someone's going to be streaming it or whatever, or qualify yourself. So the grand prize is $750,000, I believe.
Too bad poor you can't get his face.
Maybe he could still sneak in, though. I don't know.
Maybe he'll find a way to cheat himself in.
He could, he'll hack his
cheat himself into play. Search for a target cheater card and put it into the battlefield.
So this one is going to have 32 players of the best players in the world from the Magic Pro League, competing against 20 challengers, 16 of whom are going to qualify through MTG Arena Play. Here you go. First prize is $100,000. Everyone else who's invited gets $7,500 just for qualifying.
Wow, that's pretty juicy.
So the first, second, third, fourth place have sizable payouts: $100,000, $80,000, $60,000, and $40,000 respectively. The only thing that I thought I felt a little bit, I don't know, I was skeptical about, I guess, was that first of all, some of these slots are already done. It's going to be these Pro League guys who are automatically get in. Then that leaves 16 slots that are up to you.
Okay.
So these 16 slots, though, guess what? It's too late.
Oh, really?
If you wanted to think that you're going to be in there, it's too late than that.
Oh,
because this is how it's going to be picked. It's going to already be picked from the top 1,000 ranked players from March and April.
Oh.
So those 1,000 people will compete in a qualifier event in the end of May. And then based on that, they'll go on to the Mythic Championship.
Okay.
So, I don't know. I felt that... I don't know if that was made clear before the event.
That would have made sense to do that, but you're probably right. It probably wasn't.
I don't think that was known before. It seems like that was an after effect that, this is how we're going to see that first, first bunch of people to compete is, we're going to look at records from these months.
It's kind of a shame.
I feel that, I don't even think these 32 pros should get automatic buys in. I think if you're going to make this a Mythic Champions event based on MTG Arena, open it up to everybody on Arena and have a monster competing event.
Like a giant brawl.
Exactly. I mean, it's no different, I guess, really, I guess volume-wise, but the same concept of any of these Grand Prix or anything. You have...
Exactly.
Yeah, you have, matches that you play, you look at the records, and those people, continue up the ladder.
Yep, it makes sense to do it that way. That's the meritocratic method, which I am always a fan of.
Yeah.
Yep.
None of this, none of these buys or anything like that. It's based on the record, and, that's the huge bonus of online. You can do these matchmaking things.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's 100%. What the technology is all about.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. You're 100% correct.
I mean, there's no reason not to. Which begs the question that obviously they're not. My guess would be that they're not, don't have that set up yet, or not to that level of hosting a competition of that size online.
Maybe, but that seems really weak. Although, granted, maybe I'm expecting too much from them because this is Wizards of the Coast. So they.
I mean, maybe they can, or maybe the other thing is too. I'm sure this probably plays into it as well. They say, well, these 32 pros are our kind of poster kids for the game, so we want to make sure we still have a spotlight on some of them. And
maybe.
We want to, we'll be following some of their matches, and we'll see how they're doing.
That could be maybe some name recognition or something.
Exactly. So Yuya is out there. He's kicking ass.
Well, maybe not anymore.
Or maybe not anymore. But maybe his brother is, or Team Cheaty Face is out there competing.
Exactly. It's funny.
Yeah, I don't know. I always think it's kind of cheesy that some of these guys just get auto buys into these kind of events, but
yeah, I agree.
Make it a real tournament that's hosted online to show what the product actually is.
Exactly. It gives you a good way to showcase it to a lot of people. I think it generates a lot of interest, or maybe at least a little bit more.
Because then you could say to yourself, you know what? I'm just Joe Schmo, and I actually could have a chance to play in this tournament.
Exactly. I could actually, yes.
Maybe I'm out right away. That's fine.
Still cool though.
Yeah. But no.
so much for that.
No, I guess it's not really a tournament for everybody. Just
almost everyone.
Yeah.
Exactly. Certain people especially, but maybe the rest of us could join.
Yeah, maybe if you were super lucky during April and March and April, you could get into it, but probably not. So
yeah, well, we'll see how that sort of stuff moves along over time. I actually would anticipate them having more open series, realistically.
I would expect that as well. I would see more open series. I would see more events. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Very good.
So anything else? You got anything more?
I think that's about it. We'll be back at you soon enough, though.
I think now
Wizards will always be making new product, always selling new stuff, and we'll always have some stuff to report on.
Absolutely, and I think we'll have to do some more follow up here on the War of the Spark fallout and see where the prices go and how that affects everything else in the market.
Absolutely.
In the next couple of weeks. And definitely we'll check back on our predictions and see how they did.
Yep, I'm kind of curious to see how it goes.
Yeah, I think that Liliana is definitely just going to keep going up. But
she's a pricey little girl already.
Yep, or at least stay the same. But I don't think she's going to drop anyway.
Yeah, maybe no time soon.
So yeah, go to your release and buy some more product and make Wizards happy.
That's right. Praise the Supreme Overlords. Feed them your cash.
Exactly. Lay down your singles before the Coco loss.
That's right. He wants your singles, not your cards, just your dollars.
He cares nothing for your loyalty, just your money.
Very good.
He's ready to activate his amass ability of amass dollars.
Amass cash hoard.
Exactly.
Funny.
Oh, goodness. Well, with that, as we always say, may your picks always be profitable, and I hope so in your War of the Spark picks and drafts and whatever events you compete in. So,
very good. Take care.
Take care, everybody. Until next time.
Bye-bye.